Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to Sweetwater Soundcheck. This time out, a versatile tool for guitar players as well as for studio use. Let's get started. Today we're checking out the Analog Alien EPI, or Effects Pedal Interface. This is an extremely versatile box. It works well for guitar players, but it's equally powerful when you take it into a studio situation. The EPI provides a wide variety of routing options, and it also allows you to shift between different operating levels, line level, instrument level, as well as different connection formats, 1/4 inch, XLR, and RCA. We have a lot of options here, and that gives us a lot of versatility. So it really doesn't lend itself well to a traditional demo where you just play through it. The box doesn't sound like anything. It's a transparent routing box and format shifter. Because of that, I think it makes more sense for this video to talk about 12 uses for this box. There are a lot of things you can do with it, and these 12 will give you some ideas to get you started. To give you an idea of the connectivity of the EPI, we have inputs on 1/4 inch, XLR, and RCA. We have outputs on 1/4 inch, XLR, and RCA. And again, this supports line level input on balanced or unbalanced, -10 or +4, as well as instrument level input. We have two loops that are switchable from the front panel, A, which has a 1/4 inch in and out over here, and B, which has a 1/4 inch in and out over here. You can access those loops independently or switch them both on simultaneously. The way the signal flow works is, all the inputs are active simultaneously, so you can come in all of those and the signals are summed together. And then the two effects loops show up in parallel, so they're side by side. This allows you to do a variety of interesting routing things that we'll talk about a little bit later. As far as outputs, we have a through out to feed your guitar amplifier, basically a dry output. We have a buffered output that's going to carry the affected signal from the loops, as well as anything else that's passing through, summing, those kinds of things. And then we have our XLR and RCA line level outputs. So here are 12 ways you can use the EPI in your guitar rig and in the studio. We'll start with guitar applications. First up is probably the most obvious, and that's using the EPI as a loop switcher on your pedal board. To do this, connect your guitar to the input and connect your pedals to the two loops. So for example, you might have a fuzz box over here in loop A, and you might put a chorus here in loop B. You can engage those two loops simultaneously, which would give you the chorus and the fuzz running side by side. Or you can switch between the two, so you could go from chorus to fuzz to no effect at all. The output would come out of our buffered output, or in fact you could route out of the XLR or the RCA output as well. If you want a dry feed, come straight out of the through output. Our second application is using the EPI as an amp switcher. The EPI can function as an ABY box, which means it can switch between two outputs or both of them simultaneously. Connect your guitar to the input, connect the send for loop A to the input of your first amplifier, the send for loop B to the input of your second amplifier. Now when you step on the AB switch, you'll be switching between your two amplifiers. When you hit the both switch, both amplifiers will come on simultaneously and be layered together. Our third guitar application for the EPI is as a 2-, 3-, or 4-way splitter. We can route our guitar signal in, come out of the through out and the buffered out, and we have a 2-way splitter. This is very useful for setting up certain guitar routing applications. But in fact, we can also use send A and send B, hit the both switch, and now we have 4 outputs simultaneously coming from the EPI, giving us a 4-way splitter. Very versatile for setting up complex routings, using multiple amplifiers, or feeding through multiple effects situations. Fourth, we can use the EPI as a straight-ahead DI box or direct box. Plug your guitar in, and we have a +4 balanced output on XLR here, or we have a -10 unbalanced output on RCA here. Those line level signals can feed straight into a preamplifier or straight into your audio interface for recording or use in a live sound situation. Our fifth application is parallel effects routing. Remember, our two loops in the EPI are in parallel, so the signal comes in, it splits, goes to the two loops, and then is summed back together. When you have an effect on one side but no effect on the other, the one that has no effect will serve as a direct through, and you can switch that in and out. This allows you to combine the dry signal with the affected signal. Great for use with fuzz boxes, overdrives, but also with effects like chorus, flanger, and delay. The effects pedal interface is also extremely useful in the studio because it can interface between line level signal and instrument level signal. This gives us a variety of options. Number 6 on our applications is using the EPI as a reamp box. If we record a guitar or bass signal direct into our DAW using the EPI as a direct box, we can route a line level version of that signal back out into the EPI, and now use the EPI to send that signal to amplifiers which we can mic up and record back into the DAW. This allows us to record direct signals and choose the amplifier sound we want to use later. While we're doing this, we can also add effects using the two loops and switch those in and out in the process. Our seventh application is to use the EPI to interface guitar pedals with our DAW when we're mixing. Simply take a line level signal out of your DAW into the EPI, put the effects you want to use into the two loops, come back out of the XLR into the line level input on your DAW, you'll be able to add those pedal effects into your DAW session. The nice thing here is that the EPI automatically takes care of all those level and impedance issues that can arise when you're dealing with pedals and line level signals. So it handles all of that in the background. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Just connect the cables, connect your pedals, and you're ready to go. Number 8 is using the EPI as a level shifter. We can come in at guitar level, but go out at line level. We can also do the opposite. We can come in at line level and come out at guitar level. This allows us to easily interface between a wide variety of gear. For example, you could run a keyboard or an audio mixer into the input and run the output at guitar level into a guitar amplifier to create new sounds. We can also use the EPI to shift between RCA at -10 and XLR at +4. Remember, all our inputs and outputs are available simultaneously. So if we come into the RCA at -10, we can come out at +4 with the XLR, and vice versa. We can come into the XLR input at +4 and come out at -10 using the RCA. This allows us to interface consumer gear along with professional audio gear. Our 10th application is using the EPI as a splitter. Because again, all our inputs and outputs are active simultaneously, we can come in the input with either a guitar level or a line level signal, and we can come out of all of those outputs simultaneously. So we could, for example, route an XLR in at line level and come out at -10 on RCA, +4 on XLR, and at instrument level on the 1/4 inch. So we can have 3 different signals at 3 different levels with 3 different formats available at the same time from right inside this box. Number 11 is summing signals for easier routing. Remember, all of our inputs are available simultaneously. So we could come in at guitar level, at RCA -10, and actually into our 2 loops, into the returns on the 2 loops, sum all those signals together internally, and send them out of one or more of the outputs. Finally, number 12, because we have RCA connections, we can interface this with a wide variety of gear, including your phone. You could also connect DJ equipment to this. You can easily get things in and out. If you need to work in stereo, you can use 2 of them so you can get the left and the right signals separately. But this allows you to easily add effects to a DJ rig or to use your phone for complex routing situations. I hope this video gives you an idea of just how versatile the EPI from Analog Alien is. This box can do so much, both for your guitar rig and for your studio rig. You're definitely going to want to check it out. It sounds absolutely transparent and gives you a ton of flexibility for routing signals, combining them, and splitting them. Thanks for joining me for Sweetwater Soundcheck. I'm Mitch Gallagher.